it's Harley again, and before March is over, I do have to do another video about sapphic books and other books about queer girls, yeah. Alright, so let's start with my rats, my personal favorites, the books that make me want to rip my heart out. Amelia Westlake Was Never Here by Erin Yow. This book literally ripped my heart out. It's Enemies to Lovers. It's taking down the patriarchy. It's sapphic. It's everything I want and more. It's the art rebel teams up with the, class president, basically. Absolutely perfect. Amazing. Read it or you will regret it because you'll be missing out, basically. I'm not gonna do anything if you don't read it. Being Jazzed, My Life as a Transgender Teen. This is an autobiography by Jazz Jennings. One of the best autobiographies I've ever read, to be honest. Made me cry, made me laugh, made me realize things about myself. Yeah. Amazing. You should read it. The Love and Lies of Roxana Ali by Sabina Khan. Literally ripped my heart out. I cried so much while reading this. There are themes of sexual assault and death, but it is so amazing. It's just literally so amazing. One second. Yeah, it is Muslim rap. It's sapphic Muslim rap, which is very rare, unfortunately. And I hold it very dearly to my heart, though I will probably never read it again because it was that devastating to me. Yeah. Literally, I'm just crying thinking about it. Like, I'm about to cry. The Mighty Heart of Sunny St. James by Ashley Herring Blake. Ashley Herring Blake is one of my favorite authors. Oh my god, she is an amazing writer, and she writes a lot of sapphic books, and this one is middle grade. And it's about a 12-year-old who had to get a heart transplant and is now realizing she might she kind of knew she liked girls before the heart transplant, but now she knows even more so, and she meets this girl during the summer, and it's very sweet. It is so sweet. I recommend it for anybody of any age. I swear it's directed towards younger kids, but it's amazing. Read it now. This should be on the top of your TBR list. I know you have one. We all have one. And all of our TBR lists are very long. This should be at the top of yours if you haven't read it yet. Hearts Tolstoy by Catherine Orphy. It's a take on Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. He's right here. Yeah. And it's about a group of very, very queer friends that are, creating a web series about Anna Karenina. And the main character is Ace, and I love her, and it was just very amazing. I cry every single time I read this. Nothing sad even really happens, but it is. Oh, read it. I correct myself. This should be at the top of your TBR list. Far From You by Tess Sharp. As you can see, this is a very, very loved book. This was the first queer book I remember reading, and it is devastating, but I love it so much. It is a mystery, it is a mystery book, and the love interest, she's dead from the beginning of the book. I'm just warning you now. And the main character is bi, and there's just a lot of conflict, and there's heavy themes of, death and murder and drugs and overdose, and and it is amazing. This should be like third on your TBR list. Yeah. I read this when I was 13, and I was probably way too young to be reading it, but it definitely made me realize stuff. Yeah. Speaking of devastating books, Girl Made of Stars by Ashley Herring Blake. I sob uncontrollably every time I read this book. I'm not even joking. This book changed my life. It did. It's about this girl, Mara, who recently broke up with her girlfriend or significant other, Charlie. There's a subplot about that. And Mara's friend Hannah, who was dating her brother Owen, is raped by her brother, and Mara is obviously very conflicted about this because she wants to believe Hannah, but she also wants to believe her brother, and it is so sad because you see this girl who is obviously struggling, who wants to support her brother because he has always been her closest person. He's her best friend, he's her everything, because they're twins and they've always been there for each other, and now she can't be there for him because she knows he did something wrong, and it's, I don't want to spoil too much, but it is devastating. You won't cry during it. Read it. Just read it. You Know Me Well by Nina Latour and David Leviathan. Alright, this book is about friends Mark and Kate. Mark is gay and in love with his best friend. His best friend does not love him back. And Kate is a lesbian, and she is being set up with her best friend's cousin. I haven't read it a lot, but it goes through, you know, Mark and Kate's like senior year and how they became friends and how they're basically soulmates, you know, platonic soulmates, and their relationships with their you know, what's the word, respective significant others or love interest. And let's just say this is a very healing book, and it is not that devastating unlike some of the other books I've recommended. I am not addicted to pain. I kinda am though. But this is a very healing book about, you know, just queer friends. And you will cry anyways. Her Royal Highness by Rachel Hawkins. A sequel to Royals by Rachel Hawkins. But I haven't read that. It isn't important because this is what's important. Basically. Enemies to lovers. They were roommates. Sweet Southern girl falls for a princess. And the audiobook is ethereal. I'm just saying it. The voice of the main character, Millie Quint, is amazing. Truly ethereal, healing. You will sob, but it is not that devastating. It is devastating, but it's not that devastating, but you will still sob. My favorite character is Seb. If you ever read this, or if you have read this, my favorite character is Seb. Just saying. One second. Organizing my books. Alright, now, next. Sapphic books I probably should read because they've been on my TBR list for a while. Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Bayron. I need to read this. You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. I need to read this. Hot Dog Girl by Jennifer Dugan. I fucking need to read this. It's been on my shelf for months. Someone help me. Pulp by Robin Talley. I need to read this. I already know the ending, but I need to read it. The Falling in Love Montage by Sierra Smythe. I've pronounced so many names wrong. I feel so bad. I'm sorry. I need to read this. Our Own Private Universe by Robin Talley. This always reminds me of the movie Our Own Private Idaho. Our Own Private Idaho. Damn, what movie am I thinking of? It has River Phoenix in it, and it's gay. And this is what it reminds me of. And that is what this reminds me of, yes. I need to read this. Alright. Now, to the books I'm reading right now. An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. It's apparently sapphic. I need to read more of it, but it's going very slowly. I'm gonna be honest. And Blue Lily, Lily Blue by Maggie Stiefvater. I read the first 2 books and then I started reading this, but I also started going to school and I stopped reading as much, which means I stopped reading completely. I need to keep reading this because I loved the first 2 books. I loved them. I love all the characters. And I want to know more. On to my last bit, which is at Sapphic et al. But I forgot to talk about these books. Infinity Sun by Adam Silvera. I need to read this. I already have the sequel. I need to read it. And Infinity Reaper, which I pre-ordered and got a bunch of merch for. So I'm gonna be showing you it. Got these little book plates. They're so cute. This fan art is adorable. I wish I understood what was going on. It means I need to read it. This little pin. And this bracelet that says Silvera Support Group. And on the inside it says, be more happy than not. I love it so much. I wear it all the time. Not all the time, like, obviously if I wore it all the time I would have just taken it off my wrist. But I wear it a lot more than I wear most bracelets. Anyways, you probably want to stop hearing my voice, so I'm just gonna end the video because I've been talking for 17 minutes. What the fuck? Anyways, this has been a good March, and I have given you a lot of recs, so your TBR list probably got a lot longer throughout this video. Probably a good thing. I have good taste. Sometimes. Anyways, read more Sapphic books. Read the books I recommended. Be devastated. See you in April.